Where's that offense going to come from outside of number 33 in the black? Puts that one up. Got a hand on it. Beers, though, controls it.
Sahara Williams is going to make sure it didn't come from Olsen on that one. Another block for the sophomore.
Look how quickly that developed. Beautiful trade.
7 seconds on the shot clock for the Gamecocks. She's going up against Reagan Beers. Stripped by Vann. Skylar Vann with the patience to let the defense.
Been so good even today, as you mentioned, just one away. The block at the rim by Peyton Verhulst. Maybe her second one of the day. And Skylar Vann, that's going to be clipped off for the highlight tape.
You're facing a team in Oklahoma as Alexander catching fire three, right corner, too strong. Maybe trying to fight for the rebound, can't get it. You're facing an Oklahoma team who has a lot of chemistry together. The big thing was inserting Reagan Beers into the lineup.
Right, and you know, it's still early on in the season. They're still trying to figure out.
She's got soft hands.
Catch everything.
But again, the inability to get back down the floor.
And there's a big answer by Jenks. Keziah Jenks keeping the Bearcats in it. Skylar Vann runs the other way, scoops it in.
That's an interesting matchup between Holmes and the freshman Williams for OU.
See Indiana already sticking to the assignment. Oklahoma usually getting a shot off in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock, but they'll wait for that one.
At Texas, and what a great job Peyton Verhulst has done. She's probably the leading candidate for Big 12 Newcomer of the Year.
Oklahoma pushing early here in transition.
Vann lines another up, and this one is good. 3-2 Sooners.
State's taken 10 free throws tonight. They've made 9 out of 10. Oklahoma 9 of 11 at the free throw line. 3 straight away. Knocked it down. Skylar Vann.
Regareva has a really high motor.
Oh, passes off to Jovanovic. Gets it back. Williams is back in with one. The break. There's the conference player.
Gaston scored the last bucket down the floor. Bostic tries to get in on the action. The by three, Nevaeh top. Richard Senior out of Columbus over to Vann.
More now, Zaya and Skylar, number 3 and number 24 in the white. That was Zaya Vann, affected that shot. Verhulst across the timeline. Skylar wants 3. That's pure. The second. Mitchell Steen offline. With Jefferson still on the bench. Assuredly for the rest of this half here. She picked up the 3 fouls. Vann straight on 3.
The bank is open officially.
You get that shot at home, right?
Whatever it takes. That was a big play. Missouri needed to get a bucket and down low right away. The Vann.
And go the 4th. Amore dishing. Key just dropped it. Was right in her lap. 20th turnover for Kentucky. Zaya Vann finds the cutter. Her sister lays it in.
11 now for Oklahoma. They had top back in the ball game. Lexi Keys guarded by Goen. Verhulst, great feed and cut from.
Stowtime trying to work off the screen. Little step back 3 online, but left it short.
Right in line with us. It was definitely on line, just short. Good call there, Josh.
Vann finds in the corner. Shot clock winding down. Nice. One of the few times we'll probably say that today, but Skylar Vann.
To be just a freshman
and playing on this stage, and to see what they've been able to do the latter part of the season. This is going to be a Georgia team that's going to be dangerous next year, especially with the 20 recruiting class was ranked 20 in the country, so there's going to be some more great freshmen coming in as well.
Scott coughing it up.
Todd Williams misses the jumper from the foul line. Sierra Chinu is a steal machine. Against conference opponents, she's averaging over 3.5 steals per game. That leads the SEC. She's a freshman.
That is all smart and athleticism. She is so good.
Skylar Vann banks it in.
Ding with the foul. Actually got that one on Sky Castro. That'll be her first, and we see Zaya Vann, one of the three who entered the lineup for the Sooners a moment ago. Skylar Vann trying to post inside. This is Zaya, the sister combination here. Zaya, Skylar, and a deuce. Love it.
By New York keep 14 stacked a roster that is just so deep. You talk to any coach playing the Sooners and they're like, man, they're deep. They're coming at you from any position.
And she said that really it's been that way for a long time around here with Sherry Cole and the teams that you were on, and just the culture that has been established in Norman. Beautiful ball fake by Vann, and she gets to the window to lay it in.
Double digits. They are hammering the glass, Oklahoma is. Here's a third look. That one did not hit the rim, so the shot clock doesn't reset. Vann turns around and
here today.
Lady Bulldogs now 0 for 6 from three-point range. Vann turns and scores.
They play hard together.
All the way with a jumper, in and out. Back over to the Sooners.
But I'll tell you the same thing about Oklahoma. They're just a little bit stronger because they're a little bit older.
Entry pass and a tough catch, but Skylar Vann made it.
Both teams right now even from three, 2 of 6 from the arc. And that turnover number still +4 in favor of the Gators as it's raise, they call it. Vann goes back door, Verhulst. Beers has another offensive rebound. Vann will spot up and connect.
Vanderbilt loves to get to the line, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country, and has not shot at all.
Skylar Vann drills the mid-range.
Pull-up won't go.
It's interesting. Oklahoma has been exclusively playing man-to-man defense, and Texas has faced so much zone this year because they do not take very many threes.
He's as Shade answers with one of her own. A 41% three-point shooter, Ashlyn Shade. Vann, great fake. Drives it, pulls, and gets the roll.
7 seconds. They go to Volhorst. Vann on the pump fake and step back. All money. Oklahoma can't miss. They're 10 for 14 in this.
Vann drives to the elbow. 8-0 run.
That's really well.
Also averages more than 2 steals a game as Vann splash on the jump. Assisted make. That three is down for Serena Roll. What an afternoon for Roll, who's got another triple.
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast, so their leader goes to the bench. He's probably going to be there for a while.
Now in face-up, won't go. Skylar Vann has been terrific on the offensive glass. Vann facing up and hitting.
This is a career season from 3 for Jariah Warren. Entered the night 50 makes this year. Career high as Vann knocks it down.
The three-point line, and as I mentioned, they're shooting under 30% from the three.
Vann counters for the.
She has to bring that arm back into the face. That looked a little unnatural.
You know, and two things can be true. I mean, it could be incidental and just a little excessive at the same time. So Beers is headed back to the locker room right now. Skylar Vann connects.
Where to go with it? Into the trees of Reagan Beers at 6'4", just waiting for that ball.
Vann launches. Vann connects. Perhaps for her. But her team has got the advantage here, and they are a little more than 6 minutes away from busting through to the Sweet 16. Been a little while for this prominent program that went to many Final Fours in the 2000s.
Yeah, Coach Baranczyk has not been able to get her group past this round yet in her first 3 years.
Look at the ball movement, by the way. Vann dials it up, knocks it in.
At their very best, it's because they're playing good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oklahoma's got so many people that can score. They just have to mix in good defense at times, because there's another example.
Parker lost the handle on the way to the basket. Beers on the court. Off to Skylar Vann. Verhulst. Vann sets for three.
Anything. That's how well her team played. And Michigan still made some shots. Her team had an acceptance of sometimes good offense beats good defense. They played very well. Skylar Vann makes it 8-0 Sooners.
I like the double post look going into the high-low action.
Beers a little off the mark with that one. And Skylar Vann steals the rebound. She's rewarded with the two-point try, and that's good.
Too heavy for that one. Verhulst back the other way. Vann fighting for it and puts.
But if you're FGCU, your season's on the line. I mean, when do you even think about putting her back in? Is it just start of the fourth quarter? Or it's one. Deep post catch. Liz Scott. No, this is Skylar Vann. Count it!
Into the game for Oklahoma. She was a key difference maker yesterday as Verhulst couldn't finish, but Vann.
Offensive rebound for Skylar Vann and tie.
Skylar Vann.
Push the basketball in transition. That's how they're getting to the 81 possessions per 40 minutes. They take early shots in the shot clock, and they're good shots, and they just like to play this up-tempo style of play.
Nice look inside. Verhulst with the finish. Now 1 point game.
Unless I'm playing defense.
Amor can't hit the three. Rebound flag down by Verhulst. Oklahoma can jump in front. Verhulst three. You bet.
That's 8 turnovers just in the last 6 minutes alone. That is way too many. And Oklahoma has converted. Beatrice Culleton rolling.
This game, they are up 16-4 points in the paint, and they have 6 assists, make it 7 assists.
Oh, today against Oklahoma?
Well, coach is putting Jefferson back in the game, who is their best downhill driver. She picked up the 2 fouls. But until those threes start falling at a little bit of a higher clip, I think they have to try to mix things up. Another 3.
Dump down, Edwards. No. Here's Verhulst. Frenetic pace at the start. That is the pace Oklahoma typically plays. Lexi Keys draws it out. Backdoor cut, and Verhulst lays it in on a nice delivery today. Her mid-range is good.
And Ryan, you saw how far off of Fagan Reagan Beers was playing. Fagan didn't just settle for the 3, took the dribble, got inside.
Reagan Beers bouncing.
For Oklahoma, nice ball movement that time, and it's Skylar Vann underneath. 9-all, early minutes, round of 64 action. And it's a rematch in double figures with 10. Just their go-to centerpiece. When she hit the transfer portal last year after the All-American season at Oregon State, it was Oklahoma and UConn. Those were pretty much the two contenders. She chooses OU. And she has blended in seamlessly. This team has welcomed her.
Open three. And OU has had trouble finishing around the basket. And that's allowed Arkansas to stay in this game. That and the fact OU has shot a lot of threes and has only made, they're 5 of 18 from the three.
Sanchez spun right.
Ole Miss's scoring defense 10th in the NCAA, leads the SEC. Once again, Oklahoma without Reagan Beers, averaging nearly 17 points per game and 9 boards per contest. The All-American from Oregon State a season ago. So far without Beers. And Ole Miss turns it over.
I mean, if you give her an inch, she's going to get herself all the way to the goal. One of the best finishers in the business.
15th ranked Sooners so far through the first couple of minutes, up 5-1 on Ole Miss. Chinu fights underneath, loses her footing. Offensive rebound by Star Jacobs and throws it away.
Reagan Beers and Sanaya Smith to jump. And LSU will start with the basketball.
Oklahoma starting in. So a man-to-man defense, gap defense. They want to keep the ball out of the paint.
Denise Amaro misses. Oklahoma's second.
This they worked on, going 3v3. And, yeah, when they cut hard and cut with conviction, they're hard to stop.
Tough ball away shot there from Wolford. Offensive rebound. The reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, Skylar Vann, as Beers scores. Nevaeh Tots making her 102nd consecutive start in an Oklahoma uniform.
That's really incredible. That doesn't sound like much, but it's incredible that she started 100.
Yeah, no injuries.
That's crazy.
And a very competitive lineup that the Sooners have had to be in there for that many straight.
A different coaching staff coming in says a lot about her and her leadership.
Randall tries to go through Vann and then tips the rebound out of bounds. It'll be Oklahoma basketball.
The moment. Lob it inside. Verholt spins, shoots, left it short. State can play it for the final shot of the quarter. Bulldogs led by 1 at the half. Here's Anaya Russell driving in, floating shot, too strong. And we go to the fourth here in Starkville.
With the move to the SEC, by the way, this will be the only regular season meeting between these two old rivals, meeting for the 69th time. Texas 10 better than Oklahoma through the years. And that'll spin all
the green light, and they don't abuse it. When they are open, they are going to fire it.
They are 12-1 on the season, ranked number 9 in the country. They are both tied for 4th best in the NCAA so far at 91.5 points per game. Off the takeaway.
You're in North Carolina,
yeah,
yes.
We'll be there watching that tremendous the backcourt for Notre Dame. Heard that there is a possibility that Maddie Westbeld, who's been back in practice, could be playing again soon for Notre Dame.
Kaiser got just enough of a screen from Garcia. And the reset rebound by Jones.
Great job by Jones. That player that takes off from behind the three-point line is the toughest one to box out when they're crashing the offensive glass. Easy to box out the one in the paint, but Jones had a running start that last possession and came up a little short right there.
Yeah, that ball.